All right, guys, welcome back to my channel. I appreciate you guys coming back, checking me out. If this is your first time, thank you. I appreciate it. My name is Keetria, and welcome to my YouTube space. Welcome to my channel. So we're talking about self-limiting beliefs, and we are definitely going to delve into a few things that I have experienced and some information that I think will help other people, and also just kind of share my journey a little bit as we dissect a few things. There's a few areas that I'm going to cover today. And I want to start with, first of all, just, let me give you the overview. I'm going to discuss why we struggle with self-limiting beliefs, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people will agree with some of the things that I cover. Second, we're going to talk about why it's important to overcome, self-limiting beliefs in order to move toward your goals. A few ways of how to overcome them. I know specifically for me, I've, been working on a few things that have definitely worked, and there are other things that don't work so well. So you have to find what works best for you. And then the last thing I want to cover is like the importance of making sure that you're consistent in that practice of sticking to the new beliefs, right? So let's jump into it. So first of all, why do we struggle? Like, if you have a self-limiting beliefs, I know one that is huge for a lot of people is the financial goals, like trying to reach a specific financial goal. If you come from a specific background or environment, culturally, it may be ingrained in you since your youth is ingrained in you that you can only make this amount, you can only make it this far. Like this particular career is not for you, or you need to do this in order to be safe and have that financial security that you want. And so in doing that, especially when it starts at a young age, you end up tacking on all of those layers of making sure that you keep to that story. And so when you're keeping to that story over a period of time, that becomes who you are. That is a self-limiting belief that you really don't understand is holding you back until you actually are looking around like, dang, why can't I go to this next level? Why can't I elevate from, I don't know, maybe making 80,000 to 150,000, whatever your goal is, even if it's lower than that, it doesn't matter. It's just the elevation. Like you're stuck in this place where you can't see your way out. And, in addition to not only just that being ingrained, another reason would be just your environment. Like, even if you have come to a place where you understand that, okay, yeah, since I was a kid, I was told this, or maybe I was taught this. And of course, it's, sometimes it's not even that it's ill-intended. It's just more so of how you grew up. But also, when you understand that, okay, this is a self-limiting belief, I'm gonna do something about it, you also have to keep in mind your environment and take that into account, because you're not able to move forward if you have an environment that is going to be feeding you that same sort of lack and limitation. I would say I won't say it's negative, because the environment may be a positive and peaceful environment. But at the end of the day, that there still may be elements within your environment to where certain people, or just the elements within it, are filled with lack and limitation. So I won't get into the specifics of that, but I'm pretty sure you guys you get the meaning, right? And then the third would be like your content. It's the status quo. Like you were taught that, you believe it. It is kind of built into who you are, and then after a while, you just, hey, why should I even try, right? Like, why should I even think to go beyond where I'm at? Because when you look back, you see that nobody else is really elevated past that point. So to an extent, sometimes we come content in different areas of our lives to where it's fine. Like we don't even try, right? And that should be a stepping stone, especially if you have a specific goal that you're trying to reach. Let that be a stepping stone to elevate you and not keep you to where you are. Because at the end of the day, it's your life. It's up to you, right? You decide. So those are a few things, for a few reasons why we struggle. Just being ingrained in you, like since your youth, your environment, and then also just that's the status quo. Like that's basically who you are. So the second thing, let's talk a little bit about like why overcoming self-limiting beliefs is so important. Why you want to overcome self-limiting beliefs. Okay, so obviously say you have a goal. Maybe it's the financial goal. Maybe it's a career goal. Fitness goals are definitely equally as important, right? Maybe you want to do a specific diet, or maybe you just decide you want a specific lifestyle. If you have a self-limiting belief that you have not taken care of, so to speak, or you have not uncovered, one self-limiting belief in one area of your life can affect your whole area. If you have a self-limiting belief in your finances, that's going to affect any type of relationship that you might have. If you have a self-limiting beliefs in regards to how smart you are or how smart you aren't, that's going to affect your finances. Or, you know, if you look at your body in a certain way and you feel like, you know, I don't know, there's too much weight, you know, you want to lose weight, but you're struggling to get out into the gym because you're afraid of criticism and things like that. All of that stuff ties in. Those are beliefs that you carry and that you hold, and it keeps you from moving forward, moving to reach your goal. So you have to figure out, okay, I know for a fact that I have a belief, and you want to reach a goal, you want to overcome that belief. So what can you do? How do you move from where you are to where you need to be? You can't progress and you cannot move forward in the way that you want. You may be able to cover a little dirt over it and move forward and think that you are escaping that belief, but sooner or later it comes up to where it might affect you in other areas of your life. Basically, the reason why it's important to overcome self-limiting beliefs is because you're not able to really realize the potential and reach the goals that you want to reach when you are burdened down by beliefs that are weighing you down and holding you back. I mean, it's just you might get a little bit further along in your journey, but that belief will always be hanging over your head. And so you will end up plateauing at some point to where sooner or later you really need to sit down, sit with yourself, and go through those things that you feel are hindrances mentally, you know, and most of the time we make this stuff up, you know, we be making this shit up, you know, it's just stuff that we see in ourselves because we have taken on that messaging, we have taken on that belief, we have taken on a lot of systems and ideas that really are not our own, and it takes for you to be with yourself, and it takes for you to go inside yourself to see what resonates with you. Because when you think about it, a lot of the things that you were taught to believe in school, in the church, wherever the case may be, maybe different sports organizations, different organizations, period, like different social groups, that information may not resonate with you. And there's a reason that it may not resonate for you. You have to decide on what your beliefs are and make sure that you're not mixing your beliefs or taking on somebody else's beliefs and making that fit because that's what you were told or that's what you were conditioned into. Understand that you have the power within you to undo the things that just don't make sense. And that's what taking responsibility is also about when it comes to self-limiting beliefs. It's like you have to be responsible for you. And so unless you do the work to understand what is one of the things that or maybe multiple things that hold you back, you know, making progress to reach your goals is going to be really difficult. I'm not saying you can't do it, but it is definitely difficult. And then you just want to work through that stuff, right? All right, so let's talk about a few ways to overcome those negative beliefs, all right? First of all, like I said, identify them. Work to identify them. Not have somebody else identify them for you. You need to work to identify them because nobody knows you better than you. And you might need a little help, you know, and I'm not saying that, you know, don't get help, but what I'm saying is you need to do the work for yourself and make sure that you are calling out the beliefs that do not resonate within your spirit, within yourself. The second thing you want to do in order to overcome them, and this is some things that I've done personally, is just really trying to see what works and what doesn't. Because you know, you have affirmations, you have a lot of things that you can do, meditation, there's mantras, there's visualizations. You pick and choose what works. Maybe all of them work, maybe only one or two of them work. So you have to customize it for you. But what you want to do is you want to come up with systems to replace the negative with the new belief. So I'm not saying you can just get rid of the self-limiting belief. I mean, that may be a possibility for some people, depending on the type of work that you're doing. But ultimately, what I have found that works for me is I just replace it with something that is more suitable to what I believe. And eventually, over time, what happens is that new belief that you are affirming, or that you are visioning, or that you are embodying, that becomes your default, instead of whatever that lack mindset or that self-limiting negative belief was, the one that it basically takes the place of that. And then the third thing that you want to do, so you've identified it, you've replaced it. The third thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that you have a consistent practice. Rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, so that new belief that you have created sticks. That's the only way it will stick, is if you repeat it. Think about it. Maybe you were an athlete at one point. Maybe you were a cheerleader. Maybe, I don't know, whatever it is that you were doing something that required practice. You were doing something that required for you to get better. You were doing something that would be the ultimate fulfillment for you with consistent practice. And that's the same thing with the beliefs, right? You have to practice in order for them to sink in, so that your mindset can start to change. So make sure that you're practicing and monitor the progress. Like, check to see how long you are. Like, check to see how far along that you're going. Check. See how far along you've gone with it. Make sure that you are checking your progress. And if you are seeing progress, keep going. If you are still finding like resistance here and there, all you have to do is figure out what a resistance is. Maybe you need to change an affirmation. Maybe you need to try another resource or a tool to help you. But at the end of the day, keep going. Keep going with your practice, because what's the alternative? To stay where you are, right? So you may as well just make those adjustments and keep going, and just stay positive, right? Stay positive and consistent. And then another thing that I know that has worked for me is, like, I encourage just really working to immerse yourself into that new belief, that new vision that you have for yourself, because it all comes down to awareness, right? We are taking in so much on a daily basis. We have the phones, we have social, we have work, we have kids, we have family, we have community groups, or whatever it is that we are involved in. And the thing is, all of that takes away from here. All of that pulls your mental focus into other elements. So we are constantly bombarded, distracted, and we do have commitments, right? Outside of ourselves. Like, we have daily commitments, but what I found is the more that you can work to immerse yourself into that new belief, the more likely you are to achieve whatever that goal or that vision is. And this can take place. Like, you can really set up a system for yourself, or a plan to work toward a specific goal, whether it be a 30-day goal, a 3-month goal, 6 months, 12 months. You create it. Like, have fun with it. But what'll happen is you'll notice how your life starts to change. And I'm actually working on as a creative consultant, I'm working on a creative strategy to really help people go from just having an idea, like envisioning an idea, putting it on paper, and actually being able to materialize that idea. And so with that creative strategy session, what I'm going to be doing is helping people through a workbook and really come up with those goals to redefine who it is that they are, so that they can have like a practical action plan in order to achieve the goal, as opposed to just getting up and just putting together a vision board, like, okay, I want to get that. I want, that too. I'll take that. But there's not a practical way of putting together those action steps to materialize whatever it is on your vision board or whatever your goal is. And it just starts with beliefs. When you bring it all back, it's like, okay, I have this vision board, or I have this thing that I want to achieve, but you have beliefs that you have not worked with. And unless you identify those beliefs and work with those beliefs, it's a struggle. It can be a struggle. I'm not saying it's impossible to reach your goals with self-limiting belief, but it can be a struggle. I know. Take it from me. I'll provide more information on the creative strategy session that I'm going to be offering here shortly. So if anybody is interested, make sure you reach out. I'll give you more information on that. But more importantly, like I said, the biggest thing that I wanted to convey through this particular talk is just make sure you're checking in with yourself. Make sure you're checking in with yourself. Identify the beliefs that you want to create, and make sure that you are taking the stuff that you don't want. Don't focus on that. Replace it with the new, and keep it moving, right? So that is today's chat. Make sure you guys go like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks.